A strong fire broke out in the Indian state of Uttarakhand. The fire destroyed 180 hectares of green space in the Uttarhashi district. The main version that local authorities adhere to is deliberate arson. Satellites show 6 forest fires that are raging in northern India, 5 of them in Uttarakhand and 1 in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. According to experts, at least another 6 weeks of the fire season is expected before the monsoon period. Since February, almost 2,000 fires have engulfed 4,000 hectares of forest land in Uttarakhand, killing 4 people. Some experts attribute the intensity of wildfires to the drought that has gripped the country. Over the past 3 days in the capital of Mongolia, Ulaanbaatar, weather conditions of 4 seasons have been observed almost simultaneously, from snow to warm spring sun. Strong winds and yellow dust storms swept through vast areas of Mongolia. The greatest impacts from dust storms were observed in the southern provinces of Umnagovi and Dungovi, as well as the western province of Govi Altai and in the capital Ulaanbaatar. The wind speed reached 25 meters per second. According to local residents, it was practically impossible to move along the streets. The visibility dropped to tens of meters in places, and the strong wind knocked down. What is most interesting, a snowstorm hit Ulaanbaatar the same day. In some places, even up to 10 centimeters of snow managed to fall. A hailstorm hit South Dakota. Several cities suffered from the violence of the elements. The sizes of hailstones were from 3 centimeters in diameter to 5 centimeters. A series of storms, large hail and tornadoes continue to engulf the United States. Major hail fell in Milton and Clayton. During a severe thunderstorm, there were reports from local residents who claimed the formation and passage of a tornado, but the authorities did not confirm this news. Many drivers were taken by surprise by this hail. Many cars that were in the open were damaged. The hail left a mark on the houses of the townspeople, in the form of broken glass roofs. Montana and North Dakota continue to suffer from weather anomalies. Blizzards and snowfalls continue to torment many cities. This spring blizzard, with wind gusts of 25 meters per second, greatly complicated the movement of vehicles and created a number of problems on the roads. So far, the authorities have not reported an increase in accidents, but in some places visibility reaches no more than 100 meters. It is expected that this storm will continue to bring snow down on residents until Friday. At least 30 centimeters of snow has already fallen in most of the region. Forecasters generally gave a forecast that another 40 centimeters of snow will fall before Friday. In the near future, residents of North Dakota expect a serious cooling down to -10 degrees Celsius. The US state of New Mexico is suffering from large-scale forest fires that have been raging for several days. The village of Ruidoso will suffer greatly from the fire. Here, the flames have already destroyed more than 170 buildings and houses. Strong wind gusts of which reach 25 meters per second help the fire to gain such strength. They also became the culprit of the fallen poles of power lines. Now part of the districts remain without electricity. Fire services are evacuating residents of potentially dangerous areas. Despite the fact that firefighters fight the fire, trying to get close to him from the ground and from the air, the attempts are not successful. The good news is that there are no casualties among the local residents, but how many animals died? There is no answer to this question. Near Kaluga, the strongest flood in the last half-century. The difficult situation is also in the Tula and Vladimir regions. Bridges and roads are flooded due to flooding. Transport communication with several settlements was disrupted. Owners of plots in the Kaluga region are counting losses. To hide from the water, people have to climb onto the roofs. Two rivers in the region, Pratva and Zhizdra, burst their banks. During the day, the water in them rose by more than half a meter. The region has the largest flood in the last 50 years. The scale is clearly visible from the air. Bridges have gone underwater. There are no passages to 3 settlements. And in the Vladimir region, water has already reached the second floors of houses. And this is video footage of a powerful mud stream that hit one of the villages in Chuvashia. A strong stream of meltwater covers the village of Yambulatovo, and people fleeing from the elements climb onto the roofs of their own houses. According to the locals, this is the first time they have seen this. See how the water is gaining momentum. The authorities have already announced a yellow level of danger. Floods are gaining momentum in the region. 57 settlements may fall into the flood zone. Active snowmelt and rising water in the rivers in the region are already observed in many settlements. According to the experience of past years, the Sura River still poses the greatest danger, due to the rise in the water level in which Alatir may be flooded. The storm hit several provinces in Iran. Over the past day, heavy precipitation was noted, which provoked local floods, as well as large hail. The main consequences were seen after the fallout of hailstones in the province of Khorasan Rizavi. In the city of Mashhad, hail was falling, which reached a size of 5 centimeters in diameter. According to local media, the event lasted only 5 minutes. The hail caused damage to the crops of local residents, damaged houses and cars. Local residents who managed to film the fallout of this hail on their mobiles shared on the internet. Forecasters predict strong winds until Friday, which can reach 30 meters per second and higher. The provinces of central Canada are preparing for a powerful snowstorm. According to the National Weather Bureau, in the southern parts of the provinces of Manitoba and Saskatchewan, as well as in the northwestern part of Ontario, heavy snowfall will begin, accompanied by winds with gusts of up to 25 meters per second. By Friday morning, 80 centimeters of snow may fall in these areas, which is up to 10 times more than the monthly norm, which experts calculated for April in this area. Due to bad weather, it is reported about the cancellation of some flights at the airports of the region. The authorities appealed to the population with a request to stock up on food and water for 3 days, and also asked, if possible, to refrain from traveling by private vehicle during the violence of the elements. Yesterday's tornado, which hit the small town of Salado in Texas, did a lot of trouble. He was assigned the category EF3 on the Fujita scale. According to local media, the tornado claimed the lives of 5 people and 25 others were injured. The tornado caused extensive damage to buildings in Bell County, uprooting trees and downing power lines. Some houses have been razed to the ground. Electricity supply in the region has not yet been restored. At the moment, rescue services continue to search for missing victims. They are clearing the rubble, as there may be people under them. Initially, authorities reported that 20 houses were damaged as a result of the rampage of the elements, but in fact it turned out to be much more. Thank you for watching the video. Thanks for supporting the channel. Good wind and weather.